And hello. Welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast. Another week of football to bring you this week. We are back again, and we're back with an amazing dream team to talk Premier League and live Champions League, which we'll come on to in a minute. It's not going quite as well as we would have hoped from an English perspective, but there's still time. The Champions League is bonkers. Nobody knows that more than me. The Champions League, well, not recently, but nobody knows more than me in the past. But the Champions League is bonkers. Of course, it's not just me to talk here. We have the wonderful, the queen of the pod, the queen of football. Charlotte is here. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. I thought only six leagues to cover on the lower league show. Why not bring another one into it and do 7?
Why not? We haven't told you yet, but you're going to do Rebecca's Scottish one as well, so you can do 8 as well.
Fine. Throw them at me. But how are you as well?
I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing good. Yes, it's been a manic couple of days. Like I'm off work for a week coming up, so it's been sort of sorting all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm getting back to football mode. What's going on in the football? So I'm hoping a couple of Champions League games going on today. I'm hopefully sit down and watch the Arsenal Madrid one tomorrow. So it's all very exciting. Not for me until Thursday, obviously. Big game on Thursday for Man United, which we will come to. And of course, Rebecca is here. Rebecca watches loads of football because her teams are playing all the time. Oh, there's a goal. There's a goal for Villa. 2-1. Villa are back in business.
Tielemans.
So I told you, strange things can happen. But
Sorry,
Rebecca.
Yeah, I got distracted by Salford and Doncaster, I'll be honest. Yeah, we'll be having live updates of that one. Yeah, neither, the results don't affect Aki, but I want to know what we're playing on Friday, so come on, Doncaster. No, I'm very well, thank you.
Perfect.
Football has been
pre-match scouting.
Yeah. Football aside, apart from Everton, it's been quite a bad weekend. Everton at least got a win, so I'm excited to talk about that. And we have another roundup of the Scottish Premier coming, so that'll be fun.
How's Big Shanks getting on? I've not heard about Big Shanks for ages.
I asked this last week. It's not good.
Oh, Salford have scored, I think. Or has it been rolled out? It could have been rolled out.
I asked Big Shanks last week, Shard.
Yeah. Hearts haven't had the best of seasons. They've been quite up and down. I think he scored against Dundee a few times, but then in saying that, I think majority of the league have scored against Dundee. Apologies to Dundee. I love them, but we'll get on to that later.
Well, do not fear. That will be coming, as will Everton. And I did meet Rebecca's request of Decore on the thumbnail. That was a request that came through. And as he scored a 90th minute winner, it was sanctioned. It was sanctioned to be on the thumbnail. It's not just us; it's all the wonderful people in the chat as well. And as well, I think we've got Ashley here from X. Hi everyone, hope you're all good. Love the podcast. Everton fan here. Great win for us again. So thank you for joining us, Ashley. And Rebecca's more than happy with that comment for sure. I'm an Everton fan.
Need more Everton fans on.
This is it. Spenny fan Chris has been here with all the updates on all the leagues. We've got the Egyptian Premier League and the Mozambique second division coming up as well. Chris keeps us updated what's going on. We've got as well. Good evening, Spenny fan Chris. Good evening to Sean as well. Sorry, we know you've had some sad news, so I hope you're well, Sean, and all your family. But thank you for joining us today. Hopefully, we can help with a bit of fun and excitement this evening, chatting football. Evening, of course, to Graham as well. Welcome to you always as well. Richard is here. Evening to you. Evening to Glenn as well.
I'm just waving.
Wave. Shaky hand, man. We just wave, and Glenn says PSG are a joy to watch. They certainly are. Yeah. We'll come on to that very, very, very shortly. And there we go. Yeah. And Graham also wanted to say thoughts with Liverpool, all those affected and tragic loss on the anniversary of Hills. Absolutely, completely agree with that. It's one thing I will say actually on that very, very quickly, because obviously football rivalry, Manchester United and Liverpool, massive football rivalry. But the one thing I've kind of always respected between the two clubs, and there's always the idiots, but the majority of fans, when it comes to Hillsborough and when it comes to Munich, both clubs get behind each other and sort of support the tragic losses of both. And I think that's always kind of been wonderful to kind of see on what was a very, very sad day and tragic loss for those that were involved and the clubs involved too. So that definitely echoed those sentiments. But we are here with football going on at the minute. Should we start with Aston Villa, Paris Saint-Germain? Because It's breaking live at the moment. PSG started very well. I spoke to someone at work today, and I said, one thing that Villa don't want to happen is an early goal for PSG to kind of deflate the crowd. Sadly, Charlotte, that's what's happened. They went 2 goals down. It's not ideal, is it?
No, it was always going to be tough. Like, my heart always wanted, like, Aston Villa. You all know, like, the love I have for Aston Villa, and Emery as well. Part of me thought, with it being European, Emery's really good in Europe. Will be kind of sneaky. But just watching PSG, like, glimpses of them today, what I could have, but just last week as well, they are really playing some fantastic stuff. They've got some really good players as well. I think Mbappe leaving is really, like, it's made them better because they're not relying on him all the time. There's individuals like scoring goals, creating opportunities now. Obviously, Dembele as well, really like him. I think he's a very good player. But yeah, I think it's gonna be PSG going through. But watching PSG in the Champions League, I think they've got a really good chance of possibly winning in it and getting to the final. Play some really good stuff.
They've got a massive possibility, as you say. That what I like about this PSG team, apart from the fact that they're exciting and that there's so many good young players coming through, is they've kind of realised that should we say, the Harlem Globetrotters approach of before, of just having all the kind of world stars, etc., didn't fit into a team. And I think that's what Luis Enrique's done really well. And he's got some, that duet's fantastic that comes into the team. Then you've got
that
people
goal
like
last week,
Hakimi, Nuno Mendes in there. Then, just talent through that team. And it's more functional. And it's exciting to watch. And I think I think in the past, everyone, because PSG with the money and, they started to borrow the top players. And when you add Mbappe, Messi, Neymar and everyone sort of looked, but everyone's quietly enjoying them now. And it's a refreshment, I think, a little bit to have a team where everyone had written PSG off when it came to the Champions League because they just kind of struggled to perform. And they have got a really good team together there as well. So, yeah, I think they've got a chance as much as anybody, unless Villa do something crazy. It's looking like PSG in the semis, and then obviously Arsenal got their shot tomorrow. So, Rebecca, is there any way that Aston Villa can? I'm sorry to say this. Can they do a Tranmere in the second half? Is there a comeback coming?
You could they do a Tottenham under 21s? I mean, last night Everton were winning 5-0. Tottenham came back. Thankfully, that one only finished 5-4. So, but that was a bit of a touch and go moment. But although Villa did do it where we were winning 2-0 and they beat us 3-2, so they can do it. They can come back. But I'd love for them to be able to do it. I think everyone's enjoyed the run that Villa have been on in the Champions League, and you would like to see Villa go further because they do deserve it. But it is a very tough one to try and see out PSG, especially with the goal advantage that they've already got. But I know Sean mentioned Mbappe. Have you seen his challenge from the other weekend where he got sent off?
Yeah, it's not great.
It's been appealed and he's only got one match. So he's back for the El Clasico is what they've done.
Stop. It's so corrupt. I'm sorry.
The appeals over there are ridiculous because there was one, Anthony, for obviously went to Betis, didn't he? And he got sent off. And there's one, and I couldn't, for the life of me, understood why it was overturned. It was an awful tackle, and it is just, it's almost like we need the big player available for the game. It's just bad. It's just insane. But on Villa, I hope. At the very least, a quarterfinal in the Champions League is probably way above what they could have expected on this sort of first one. And they've had their fantastic sort of runs. And that is the third goal was the killer last week, I think, to go to 2-1 to Villa Park. Even with that early PSG goal, you thought, okay, there's a chance. But they throw the kitchen sink in the second half. Throw the kitchen sink and see what happens. PSG have had a habit of throwing Champions League games away in the past from heavy positions. So you never know. Funnier things have happened. Richard says, I think a semi-final of PSG versus Real. Sorry, Arsenal fans will be interesting, but would have preferred it as the final. I mean, that will take a comeback tomorrow, but Real Madrid in their backyard, you'll never, ever write them off, that's for sure.
No.
And the other Champions League game, Dortmund are 1-0 up on Barca, but that is 4-1. 4-1 on aggregate at the moment. So there we go. We'll keep apprised of what's going on in the Champions League as we go through. We're going to talk Premier League. We're going to talk the Premier League. Everything's going on in the Premier League. As a Man United fan, I'm fed up with the Premier League this season. However, I will be here until the end. And we will get on to that one later. But shall we start? Should we start with the first game of the weekend? Because that one turned out to be quite an exciting classic. We had Manchester City 5, Crystal Palace 2. What do you think, Shah? I watched. This is one of the ones that I did watch, and Crystal Palace really good in that opening period. City was struggling over with them, and then we talk about a comeback and a turnaround. I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, what a start from Crystal Palace. Obviously Eze as well. I know we mentioned it. I think it was when me, you, and Lucas were on, Sam, and we were like, will he potentially get his move? I know he's been linked to City in the past as well, and yeah, he was fantastic, especially in the first half. He was brilliant. A great ball over from obviously Sarr straight to Eze, and obviously he did what he does best, put the ball in the net to make it 1-0 past Edison. Really good finish. And then obviously I really liked this goal because I'm one of them where I love a defender and I love like from a set piece, like the header and stuff. And obviously 2-0. Adam Wharton corner. I love Adam Wharton as well, may I add. I think he's so underrated and he doesn't get the credit and conversations that he deserves because what a quality player he is. He like holds it all together, I think, for Crystal Palace.
Do you know what I like about him? How quickly like he releases the ball as well. He sees that one touch, bang, one, two. He's one
so
he does
intelligent.
So intelligent. He's like, I need to keep the pace of this attack. I need to do it. And he does things quickly. And I love midfield players like that.
Honestly, it's one of my favourites. I feel like some of the midfielders don't get the recognition they deserve. I feel like Michael Carrick was the same at Manchester United. Like they didn't really, like you couldn't really see what Michael Carrick did, and even like Adam Wharton until like they're missing a game and stuff.
Keeps it looking over,
100%. But yeah, it was a corner and it was onto Chris Richards' head. And I think at this point, everyone in England and probably the world were thinking, it's happening again. Manchester City, we're going to get beat. Cap's going to lose his head. It's going to be a brilliant day. But then obviously, unfortunately, Eze did score again. VAR ruled it out for offside, which I think was the right decision, to be honest. It was offside. And then I think that was the turning point for obviously Crystal Palace and Manchester City got back into the game. I know Kevin De Bruyne had a couple of chances and then he finally got his goal as well. Mamouche, I think he's really settled in to the Premier League. He's been absolutely brilliant. I loved him anyway, like watching him. But I was really excited to see what he could do to the Premier League. And I think he's really taken it upon himself now, especially since Haaland is obviously out. I think it's one player that they really needed. And it reminds me a lot of Alvarez, who was at Manchester City as well. I think they're quite similar in that aspect. But yeah, once they got the equaliser, Manchester City, I feel like Palace just crumbled. And then we saw the Manchester City that we are used to seeing. Kovacic scored, obviously McAtee, O'Reilly as well. But one thing I really did want to point out, and which I really like about Manchester City at the minute, and I know they've got a lot of injuries, so they've not really got much of a choice. But I love watching their younger players because I think they really do have some brilliant up-and-coming talents and they're a pleasure to watch. And I'm just hoping once some of the players are back from injury and possibly next season when they do make signings, these players still get given a chance because I think they are up for it, to be fair. And we're seeing them on the score sheet as well. And yeah, they're just doing brilliant. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we do get to see them. And it's not like playing them at the minute and then they obviously have to take a back seat. But yeah, it was one of them. I was really happy for the first half, and then it was quite disappointing from a Crystal Palace point of view. But Manchester City are Manchester City, and it's what they do, isn't it, under Pep?
They find a way, and it was a very it was a very entertaining game. I mean, like for that first 20 minutes, you said Crystal Palace were just picking them off. They went so much space down that right hand side, and were causing so many problems with Munoz and Sarr. And it did at that point when that third kind of got ruled out for offside. Then you were thinking, "Oh, Palace are really sort of on one here." But I mean, it did give a testament the way that sort of City came back. It was like a new age kind of City. She said those young players, McAtee, I forget the left back's name. Riley, he's very good. And then also they had Oscar Bob come back. Don't forget, start the season really excited about Oscar Bob, and he was out on a long-term injury. So for him, that's really good to be back off the back of a really, really bad injury. Spinny fan Chris says, it was the first use of the semi-automated offside. It was with the old sort of look across. I do like that. I think that's a good. I'm sure said what we think of it. I like it. It gives you kind of that 3D view of what's it, because I always think that the line is very, because they always show a slight angle on it, so it's difficult to. I do like that kind of thing, but I think it's going to get so frustrating for people because it will highlight even more the really tight ones. It was like the point of the elbow, and you'll see it slightly coming across the thing, and you'll just be like, if you've just pulled your elbow in a little bit, and it's. Rebecca, what do you think of the semi-automated offsides? Are you a fan?
If it works, yeah. But you're still going to have always the issue of the linesman not putting his flag up early enough. And that is what gets me the most, is one of them where that's got nothing to do with the semi-automated offside, but that is the thing that annoys me with offsides more than anything. Because it's you can agree with it when it's not offside, right, they've held the flag down, put it up, and then they've done the check and they're not offside, which is fine. But when they're a mile off, just put your flag up. But I do feel as though with the semi-automated offside, if it works, great. If it doesn't, then here we go again with technology just having its moment of trying to ruin football yet again. But as long as it works, I'm happy. But then, like you said, it's going to be the annoying thing of he's off by a toe. So it's if he had a smaller boot, he'd have been on. And it's just going to be that one little bit that shows it more than the lines, because the lines, the thickness of them and everything, it just shows he's off by quite a bit when you look the line's about that wide. Whereas this time, it's just going to be if he'd have trimmed his toenail a bit and put a smaller boot on, then he'd have been on.
This is it. It's going to be those real tight ones, but I don't think they haven't got an acronym. We had video assistant referees, VAR, so we've got semi-automatic. You can't really sail. Let's go to a bit of sail. Maybe they're going to sing it around in the stadium as they're waiting for the sail.
I'm waiting for Simon.
Yeah. To be fair, Glenn's got there first. I'm not going there. There. Toenail's a toenail. If you don't cut it, it's your own fault. That's all I'll say. But Graham wasn't happy. Graham said it wasn't one match he was cheering for City. Graham, don't get a strike this early on. Come on, we're only 20 minutes in. You have to give credit to City because the situation they're in, I think we're starting to see the emergence of that way that team is going to have to evolve for next season. I know Kevin De Bruyne was fantastic at the weekend, and obviously we know he's now not going to be with City next season, but Marmoush is a problem. Marmoush is a huge problem for everybody. Such talent, both feet, balance. He's a real kind of goal scorer. He's one of those, he gets in the right positions as well. He's a nightmare. And I just think him and that in time when Haaland's back, if they can find a way to kind of work those two, City will spend again. They spent a lot in January, let's not forget. Yeah. So there's a lot of players that are going to be bedding in. They'll be better in their second season. And you've still got injuries out. You've got Rodri, you've got John Stones, and if they, Rodri alone, as we know, will be a massive joy when he does. Graham says Sayot doesn't really work. It doesn't work. Well, I do worry that we're going to get some FIFA animation issues and computer games where we're going to have limbs that don't exist or something. It'll be hang on, he's got 3 legs. What do you mean he's outside? Where's that third leg come from? But Graham says more defense. I could surely be excused when it's Palace related. It's a bit of a thing in these parts. I know we all have rivals. It's all right. Rivalry is part of football. It's okay. And evening, of course, we have the wonderful Dreety who's come to join us. She's not staying for long, but she wanted to pop in and say hello to. Always wonderful.
I love her. She's so lovely.
She's an absolute superstar. So yeah, City 5, Crystal Palace 2. We'll move past that one.
I don't know why I hate him. I think it's the fact, right, that, and don't get me wrong, my uncle is a massive Manchester City fan and he's followed them since they were obviously lower league and stuff. And I have masses of respect for the people who do that. And even the ones now who go and watch them and stuff, it's just someone put a tweet up when they were going through a bad patch and losing things, and they said this is the worst moment in Manchester City's history. And I'm thinking, you don't know what Manchester City have been in the leagues all these years ago. You entitled fan. So I think that's what annoys me more than anything. And it's a way like some of them now belittle the lower teams. It's like you were once there. Yeah. That's what annoys me.
This is it. No, this is it. It's always a select, and yeah, it's been the worst thing ever. Not really. I mean, you haven't won you won 4 titles in a row. No one's ever done that, like in the Premier League. That's insane, and you've had incredible success. Like that's, yeah, just live with, as you say. It's not all City fans. I'm not having a go at all City fans, but
just
yeah,
most of them. I'm joking.
Just the majority, says Shah.
Yeah.
Just
all of them, apart from a couple.
just all apart from a couple, but they're getting into form, and it's a good time of season for them, because if you look at that kind of top 7 now, really tight, and City are kind of coming through a little bit. So a really good win for them this weekend. A really good win for somebody else, Rebecca, in the 90th minute against a team that are fighting up there in the top 7. Moyes' tricky Blues do it again. What happened this weekend for Everton?
Abdoulaye Doucouré happened. The little link up between him and Dwight McNeil. Having Dwight back has been amazing. It's only been 2 matches, but it just shows how much we've missed him. It was a huge win for us. It moves us 18 points clear of the relegation now, in which I think it was before the Forest match, there was a stat that Everton fans shared, which was this time last year, we were sitting 1 point above the relegation. And now we're 18 points above and we're sitting in 13th, which is the highest we've been for quite a while, which is really good for us. I mean, especially against such an incredible side of Forest, we've all seen what they can do, especially at home. I think they'd gone 9 unbeaten before playing us. So it was one of them, we're heading into it. I was like, if we can get a draw, I'll be happy. Because we've gone toe-to-toe with Arsenal, with Liverpool. I know the recent Merseyside derby we got beat, but it just shows how far we've come under Moyes, because it's like we got a draw off Arsenal in form, fighting at the top, Champions League, and it's just one of them where what we'd have seen under Dash, and I hate to always keep bringing it up, but we would have crumbled, and you just know that would have happened. You still wouldn't have had the likes of Jake O'Brien playing, in which, can he please give his head a wobble, Dash, now that you've left Everton, and just tell us why you didn't play him, because he has become one of our best centre-backs. The link-up of him, Jared and Tarkowski, our defence has been the strongest it has been in a while, and also the tallest. I never thought we'd find someone taller than Jared. Jake O'Brien's 6'6", I think. So they just tower over each other, which is quite funny. But it was a match of chances in which it did have 0-0 written all over it. We had a few from the likes of James Garner. I nearly called him Jimmy then. I need to refer to him as proper names, otherwise no one would have a clue what I'm talking about.
Jimmy Garner.
I knew that though.
Yeah. It's like, I'll just be talking and it's like, yeah, Jimmy, and what? But yeah, he did have a few chances in the first half, so did Forest, but neither of them challenging keepers or defence too much. Second half, same again, like Forest did have a few, but again, you're not there panicking like we could have been. And Jack Harrison had an incredible match, which is incredible to say because he has been under quite a bit of scrutiny from Everton fans. And some of the abuse he has had from Everton fans has been horrendous, which it has just been horrible to see. So for him to put in such a good performance and sort of like silence everyone and be like, yeah, I am here for a reason, like my loan, I'm still here, and he is proving his worth, and he was really good. It would have been good to see him score, but I think it was like a fingertip save, so that one, it is what it is. But the goal, never did I think I'd see Everton score from another team's corner. It always happens to us. For the past 2 seasons, I don't think I've ever seen as many teams score from a corner as someone scored from ours. It's just been, I don't know how we did it, but that's all that's happened. But yeah, Dwight caught him out, just passing it along, like taking corner. We defended it well, but then you've always got the thing of, right, well, they're just going to fire it straight back in, but never give them the chance. Lovely little pass to Doucouré, fires it in the back of the net, and I absolutely loved his celebration because he did two. So there was one he did a thing with Everton in the community, I believe, so all of the kids designed a little celebration for him to do, so he did that one. And then he also did one where he is waiting to sign a contract. So he's there, like, pretending to sign it on the phone. If Everton would like to give him a contract, please do. He has shown his worth, and I would love to see him at Bramley. And I feel as though, like, we need to see Doucouré and, excuse my language, his shithousery at Bramley for the first Merseyside derby at Bramley-Moor, because I feel like that would just be incredible. We also saw what happened in the win at Goodison. Like, see it again at Bramley, and he's proved himself under Moyes, and it just shows how far we've come. Because at the beginning of the season, a lot were calling for Doucouré to go, because we always see a difference in him depending on which manager we've had, and him and Dash just didn't seem to work as well as they do. But yeah, it was huge 3 points, up to 13th, ahead of Tottenham and United. Sorry, Sam, but I just thought I'd mention that one. Clean sheet.
It's a long list now of teams above us, Rebecca, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. It was also a clean sheet, so it was another huge one for our defence. I think Everton released the stats today. I think Jared won 100% of his aerial battles. There were 6 clearances and 5 recoveries. So it just shows how good of a centre-back he is, and the price tag that we are going to be putting on him in summer is fully worth it. And then up next, it's City on Saturday at Goodison. I think we've got 3 matches left at Goodison, including this weekend. So the end is coming near.
The end is nigh, but not for, as Wes says here, the Moyes Sire strikes again. It is. Everton just seem a completely different side now, and it just seems that from the outside in, that the feel of the club, the energy of the club, with the fact you can kind of now, as much as you can, enjoy the end of Everton, enjoy going into Bramley, enjoy the football, because the relegation isn't a threat. It's just kind of a fun, nice time. Graham says that was some finish from Doucouré. What a waste of the first half of the season under Dutch. Spenny Fan Chris is thanking Everton for closing the great win behind. And there we go. As if it wasn't lovely enough on a Monday, we have the cherry on top of the cake. Heather is here, a resident Bournemouth fan, is here to join us. Hello to you, Heather. TH saying Moyes is the definition of Premier League heritage, as Jose Mourinho would say. Very good. Jazza Branthwaite, Sean Evans, big fan of Jazza. And I can't say swear jar, Spenny Chris says. Rebecca swearing. We've jumped to a parallel universe. Sean suggesting 50p towards the podcast meetup for Rebecca. Well, wowzers.
We've corrupted her. She's on the lower league show, so she's going to swear now. We've changed her.
I've done well, only to say that. I think I've said it like twice now on here, but it's like, it is, but it isn't. But it's just the definition of what Doucouré does when he plays Liverpool.
It is. It's a football definition. Hello as well to NS Sports joining us as well. Big up to you.
Can I just add something as well on the Moyes situation, which I think is so funny? I was on Twitter, obviously flicking through, and there's so many West Ham fans now. Like, we should have kept Moyes. We should have done this. We should have done that. And it's like, exactly. Be careful what you wish for. Last time you got rid of him, you got him back. He won a trophy, and then you wanted him gone again.
We said that. We need someone to go back to the old episodes finding this stuff, because I'm sure we've all said that don't be careful what you wish for with Moyes going, because that stage they were top half of the table looking at, and now look 17th place.
Exactly.
And looking up at David and his future.
I feel like with Everton, we've needed him back for quite a while. I mean, you look at the managers that we've been through. I mean, the one that still and will always baffle every Everton fan is why on earth we ended up with Rafa Benitez. I think that one will be questioned forever. Not only just the fact that he was a ex-Liverpool manager, that was the big one, but also the fact he hadn't done much in the build up to him coming to Everton. And then the smirk on his face as we got beat off Norwich was just, I think that just summed it up. But it's like, we've been through managers so many over the years. And it's like, although Dyche did well, I mean, 10 points deduction, which was then 6 and then the 4. So to have him, we didn't win for 3 months either in that season. And for him to still be able to keep us up was incredible. But I just feel as though we've needed a Moyes back, and we've needed someone that knows the club, and to see us out of Goodison, because you just knew if we'd have kept Dyche, it could have, I don't think I'd have been sat here with like the grin on my face of we're 18 points clear. I think we'd have still been rock in it. So I feel as though we've needed it, but it's also, we have Everton back now, and we've got Everton back at the perfect time.
That's it. You are back. They are back. You have your toffees back. Sean says coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't keep him. Was that a Beverly Knight song? Who sang that? Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Woulda, coulda.
What a callback! What a callback there.
No.
And Grant says Moyes gave Everton their identity.
Do you know what I love though? They're going in to this new ground and everything, and he deserves that, Moyes, because what he did with them in the past as well, Everton. I loved watching Everton under David Moyes when they had like Cahill, they had Fellaini, they had Pina, all them players. Like, I love that era.
That was such a good era. For me, one of the memories that I always get told is Tim Cahill was one of my favourite players when I was younger.
Love him.
So my mum and dad took me to Goodison. I spent the whole match sat there screaming for Tim Cahill. He may have not even played. I think I was about 3. He may not have even played. He could have been warming up. He might not have even been in the squad. Did I care? I was just screaming for him the whole entire match, for the guy behind us to tell my mum and dad to take my batteries out because he kept getting annoyed at me yelling.
Was it you guys as well who had Landon Donovan?
I think you did, yeah. They bought it. I think he came on loan for a bit.
I loved Landon Donovan. Like, he was, what a throwback. He was one of my favourite players.
US legend, when he had like 150 caps or something insane.
I loved him so much.
But that team was so good because you had Stephen Pienaar as well. Do you remember him? He was good amongst there. Yeah. Like, you had Leon Osman in midfield, Nathan Baines. And if you think Abdoulaye Doucouré is shithousery, Marouane Fellaini is the absolute definition of it. He was unplayable when we played against you. It was just literally the ball would go up to him, and there was just no way. It just stuck to him. Like where Lukaku was concrete boots and stuff used to bounce off. Fellaini, it would just kind of just draw towards him, and then like elbows and he was I loved him when he was at United. Actually, he used to get a lot of jit, but he was effective. He was effective, was Marouane.
Yeah, he was tall as well. I think we've seen the photo of me as mascot when I walked out with him. I was like up to his hip, and I was like 6. He was tall. It was also was it like Louis Saha that we had as well in that era?
Yeah.
Louis, another one who was underrated, and yes, Donovan had 2 loan spells, cracking player.
So much. I go for the most randomest players.
So good. And Graham's brought out Thomas Gravison.
Yes.
Gravison and Carsley. It was like the Mitchell brothers in your midfield.
Yeah.
He went to Real Madrid, didn't he, Gravison, I think?
I've got a wall in my room that's behind my computer, and I got sent loads of like personalised signed Everton players, like photos from when I was younger, because I was well behaved in the hospitality. So this guy who knew loads of them was like signing them all. So it's like I've got Cahill, Neville, Saha, Howard as well. He's on there.
Tim
like
Howard.
Jack Rodwell as well. I think he was one of my favourites.
I loved Rodwell. Didn't he go to Manchester City?
He did, yeah. Injuries didn't help him, did it? Me and my mate used to play a game like at school and college where we would just like out of nowhere randomly in the day we'd just look at each other and just like come out with the footballers' names. It'd suddenly just be like doing something else and just look at him and just go, Chris Bart Williams, or you're just like some legend from like the Premier League era from like years ago, just come out with it, and he'd look back at it and go, Kevin Pressman. Those callbacks are fantastic. We should do that over the summer. I think callback players. We all come out with a list and then talk about
Radcliffe beating Farsley.
Radcliffe Farsley.
I think I've got the most random player list ever. Need to know where any Everton under-21 player is. Somehow I know.
Rebecca is the scouting network for the youth of Everton amongst the European network.
There's 2 playing for Salford. We've got Lewis Warrington, who's on the bench, and Francis Okoronkwo, who's injured at the minute. So that's 2 Everton players.
There you go. They're everywhere. You can't miss them. But we'll go on to another game. Shah, I'll let you pick one. Do a random roulette spinny wheel. Any game you want to talk about?
So me being me, I've had to catch up with the Premier League. So what I've got a lot of notes on is the Wolves-Spurs game. And I'm not just doing it to laugh at Spurs. Dortmund are 2-0, by the way.
Come back.
I know. But yeah, Wolves 4, Spurs 2, I think we should go for.
Let's do that. Wolves 4, Spurs 2. Go on then, Shah. Take it away.
My first question?
Wolves on fire.
My first question is, Postecoglou, how is he still in a job? I mean, it's their 17th loss this season. And I saw a stat as well. Tottenham have now lost more league games this season than Pochettino lost in 2015 to 2016 and 2016 to 2017 and 2017 to 2018 combined. They lost 16 in those 3 seasons. So that is madness for starters. Like, that is crazy.
It's crazy. They've lost 3 more games than we have. That's horrendous. Like, how's that happened? I can't. I'm surprised. Like, you don't. I've always liked that Angie's had that likable quality, but he's just looked like he's had enough for a little while. See it even in interviews a little bit. They were like, "Well, what if they sack you?" And he's like, "Well, they'll sack me." Like, if they get because they were talking about if Poch could come back, and he's like, maybe he will. We'll wait and see. It's got to be. It's all on this Europa League, isn't it? But I don't know what you think, Shah. They might be better. Might have been better off just getting another manager and then seeing because. Away at Frankfurt, I think that's a difficult ask this Thursday. And what are Tottenham showing you that makes you think that they could do it?
I completely agree with you. But do you know what they would probably do? They'd probably get through against Frankfurt, they get to the final and do what they did to Mourinho and sack him then.
Yeah, sack him. What's the thing they would do? Ryan Mason on interim manager. That's their favourite move, wasn't it?
Honestly, at this point, I just don't get how he's still in a job. But Wolves, I mean, what a fantastic start. A 2nd-minute goal as well. So yeah, it was a Bellegarde free kick and it curled towards goal. And I don't know if you've seen it. Vicario did manage to punch the ball away. And then it went straight to, is it Nori? I can't really say his name. Is it Nori? Yeah.
FPL points for Where's Nori, yeah.
What a player he is, by the way. I mean, this game, I thought it was outstanding. But yeah, he did volley it into the net and then a great goal. But I don't know if anyone saw it as well. As he did hit it, it did bounce and take a slight deflection. But yeah, Vicario and Spurs defence as a whole, it was a calamity. I mean, I watch National League week in, week out. I don't think our defending this year in National League has been half as bad as that. It was absolutely ridiculous. It's 2-2.
It's 2-2. There's a Desmond. I told you. Strange things happen in the Champions League. It's never
Big
over.
John McGinn.
Go on, I thought you were going to say Big John Carew then. I was like, emergency loan.
John McGinn. With the present.
Go on, then. You wait. Rashford's coming on a minute. It's going to be Rashford PSG Part 2 coming up. Calling it now.
But yeah, Vicario and just the individual errors from the defence contributed to a lot of the chances that Wolves did have. And before, obviously, they got the second, they could have had a lot more. If they was just clinical, that little bit more clinical, they obviously was. But I can't even speak. Not long after that incident happened, Basuma, I don't know if any of you did see it, he took a brilliant free kick and Wolves' keeper made a really good save, really powerful free kick it was. And then in the 38th minute, Spurs being Spurs, Jed Spence, bless him. I'm not gonna blame him because he couldn't do anything about it. Vicario again obviously made a save, punched the ball away, and it just hit Jed Spence, who was just stood there, wrong place at the wrong time. So then, 2-0. And then the second half, Spurs did get a goal back. Johnson put a ball into Tell, who then scored. But then 5 minutes after the goal, Wolves then scored again. And Nori again, who had a brilliant game, assisted Strand Larsen. And I just wanted to point out with Strand Larsen, again, I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves, because I think all the press, all like everybody, all the fans of football, they're automatically saying how good Cunha is. And I think Cunha is an exceptional player. Like, he's one of my favourites in the Premier League. But I think Strand Larsen, for the games that he's played when Cunha's not been available due to reasons we all know, is a bit of a feisty one, isn't it? He's really stood up, and he's got a lot of goals this season as well. Got a lot of goals. So that's one player that I do really like watching. But yeah, 85th minute, a blast from the past for you, Rebecca. Richarlison gets the goal for Spurs. But then, literally, just to sum up Spurs' day, just under a minute later, obviously, Matheus Cunha scores again, makes it 4, and he did do a celebration. I don't know if any of you noticed, but he pointed to his badge and then went like that with his ear, basically saying, I think it's either to stop the speculation, I don't know, kind of thing. But yeah, he just did what he did best.
Villa Shaw. Something is happening. Something is happening at Villa Park. It's 3-2 to Villa.
Oh my God.
You're doing an Aki.
They are. We may have to. I'll turn Prime off because I'm struggling with the stream, but we might have to get it back on. I think here.
Concert.
Esri Concert. This is incredible. Something crazy going on with Aston Villa. So apologies, everyone. We are going to keep jumping in and out of what's going on with Aston Villa. Hang on, let me turn my television sound off because we'll get done for copyright.
Oh, there's always one in the chat. Someone's put, come on, PSG. There's always
one. We've got PSG.
There's always one.
Just get behind it. Get behind it. So on Wolves as well. So the other thing I wanted to add was Vitor Pereira is not getting doesn't seem to be getting any plaudits whatsoever. Like, he came into that job in the middle of the season, and like the run that they're on is really, really good. As you said, like, they've had Cunha out for bits, and he's really getting the best out of those players that he has. And to the extent that they are miles clear of relegation. They're well clear. I remember when because Lopetegui was there, wasn't he? That was last season, wasn't it? And he was at West Ham, wasn't it? And
he was at West Ham. It was Thingy used to be at Bournemouth. O'Neill.
Of course it was. Yes, yeah. O'Neill, wasn't it? Yeah, Gary O'Neill. And it's just and he's done a very, very, very good job, I think, and quietly interested to see what he could do with the window behind him as well now, because there's some good players there, and particularly if, as you said, like Cunha's off, which a lot of people are expecting, there'll be a big fee for that.
100%.
If they can use, and they may get a better sort of team variation out of it. They've got good players like Nori and that are still kind of there.
He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant.
Bellegarde. I think Larson might be on loan. I think that might be the only thing with Larson, but maybe there's a buy clause in the summer. There may well be. Don't know. But yeah, I'm really impressed with what Wolves have done. Tottenham, though, it's just...
You just got to laugh, haven't you?
It's just bonkers. And I mean, apart from that win against Southampton last week, which is like, I don't know, that's like beating your grandma in a race, to be fair. Like, it's no disrespect to Southampton, but it's not a challenge, is it, really, at the moment, looking at the Premier League? So it's almost...
Sorry, that's really made me laugh.
It's almost a gimme. But the thing for me, I did like, they played, Gray, the kid they got from Leeds. They played him at right back. I hate it when teams do this. When you've got Archie Gray, like, I know he can play there, and he played there for Leeds and that. He was more of a holding mid, wasn't he, for Leeds? I think when he kind of went across, and they bought a young kid, and he was like one of the best players in the Championship last season, and now he's coming into sort of a side. And I worry that he's getting a bit, he's getting dragged down with it all. But it's just, you can't put your finger on it. It's just not working, is it? And again, you look through the team that they played, and okay, I understand. Yeah, their back line, I know they've had defensive issues, and so you wouldn't ideally be playing Ben Davis at centre back. Jed Spence, though, at left back, they spent a bit of money on him. You know, he's someone that they've had in their back line. Romero was still there, centre back. Midfield, you got Basuma. Everyone was raving about that transfer when they got him from Brighton. Maddison, Sarr in midfield. Brennan Johnson's had a good season, I think, to be fair. Mattis Tell, who was at Bayern Munich, and Solanke up front. should be enough in these games, and it's not. And we'll see what happens on Thursday, but I think it's a tough ask for Spurs. Rebecca, anything to add on Wolves versus Spurs?
I mean, when you look at Spurs, there was a tweet put out the other day that someone will end up writing like a dissertation on at some point in history. And it was like a chunk of Leicester's fixtures in which they'd lost them all apart from one. And that one match was when they beat Tottenham 2-1.
Of course it was.
it just goes from bad to worse for them. I mean, it was just mistake after mistake for them. And as seen, Wolves just massively capitalised on that. Like, fair play to Wolves. They have shown what they can do. And I think earlier on in the season, we were saying they sort their defence out and they have a very good side amongst them. And they've done it. They've sorted the team out, and it is a really impressive one. And they are safe. I think you can say that now because they have pulled away. Like, unfortunately for Ipswich, because would love to see them fight in the Premier League next season. But it's one of them where, Wolves have done what they've needed to, and they've just shown that with the right people, they can go on and make a move.
That's it. They're going up the table. Heather has said that he's heard they're selling Solanke on for half of what we sold to them for. So I think a lot of that's going to depend who's in charge, isn't it? And we're all going to be incredibly surprised if it's still Ange come the end of the season. Like, we'll see. They're still the Europa League seems to be the only thing they're hanging their hat on. But
I've heard that Fulham's manager is one of the favourites. Obviously, if Postecoglou does get sacked, he's one of the names that they do want.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Fulham.
I'd say Fulham.
Yeah, just don't go Tottenham. Like, what he's doing with Fulham at the minute, like next season could be even like Fulham are flying. So you think a summer, get a few more in. Next season, they could be challenging even higher up the table. So you might as well stay with the team that isn't falling apart from like underneath you.
We've only got to look now at Tottenham and the past managers, and it's a graveyard of like very, very good managers when you look at it. Of course, like they had Jose Mourinho. Of course, Jose maybe not kind of what he was at Chelsea, but still. So you've got Jose, you've got say Poch did well, and then it kind of fell off the rails a bit towards the end. It didn't work with Conte. I
miss him. I loved how he called everyone out. I miss him so much.
And he was saying stuff that still hasn't been addressed at Spurs. You look at what Nuno's doing now, Nottingham Forest. His stocks risen massively from when he was at, and everyone then went, "Oh, it was too big for him off the back of Wolves." And then you're like, "Well, also the environment isn't right." There were similarities with Tottenham and Manchester United. You can see it. The environment, the setup's not right. The stuff behind the scenes, it's the same old thing now again. So. I think Tottenham surprised people last season because we all thought that they had a long rebuilding job ahead of them, and they had that really good start, didn't they? Really good start, and I think that surprised everybody. And then it tailed away a little bit, but this season's just been terrible. Bye to Torsten. Torsten's joined us. Thank you for joining us. Anyway, Torsten, thank you. Only another name that's been mooted at Spurs. I wouldn't be leaving Bournemouth for Spurs if I'm honest at the moment. That would be career suicide. I think he's done a fantastic job at Bournemouth and carry on there until something. Tottenham have got a lot to prove. I think for managers at the minute, I'd be very concerned about that kind of job for now. But there we go. Tottenham are done.
See what Dash can do at Tottenham.
Dyche is going to get a job somewhere. Super Shawnee D. And we'll all love him again. Always been a pod favourite, just not for Rebecca when he's in charge of Everton. But
as far away as possible from Everton.
There we go. Go on then. What else is on that? What have you got either anything else on the list as a particular one, Shah, so I can string out not talking about Man United for another 10 minutes? Is there any other game?
Do you have any, Rebecca?
I've got one of Chelsea and Ipswich.
That was funny. I'm gutted that they came back because that was funny.
I mean, did you ever think Chelsea would go 2-0 down against Ipswich? And it is an Ipswich side that have been struggling in the league. And it was just one of them where you sort of no offense to Ipswich, or Chelsea in that fact, but you saw the result and they're chuckling to yourself what on earth is happening? It would have been nice for Ipswich to hold on. I feel as though that would have been quite a good one, but Chelsea just did what Chelsea do. It was one of them where just came back, and I think it was more like a tired Ipswich towards the end, they put everything into it to try and hold on as best as they could, and it just slipped away. But yeah, and it was even better because it was 2 different goal scorers for them as well. It wasn't Liam Delap on the score sheet, who has been an absolute incredible player for them this season. It was been linked with here, there and everywhere now, which will be a shame for him to leave Ipswich because of what he has done with them. But I know he has been linked with Everton. Apparently he is within Moyes' plan, so that'll be interesting. But then you've got the likes of, is it United?
He's been linked to United. I think they said his release clause is really low. It's really low for a player.
30 mil, I think, or something like that. So it's not.
It's not something in today's market is a real opportunity for a lot of teams. I think it's probably just going to be a case of where he sees his future, I think.
Yeah, but I think for him, it sounds weird to say for him not to be on the score sheet was actually quite good for Ipswich, but it's I think it was. And then, of course, for me, seeing Nathan Broadhead come on and get some more minutes under Ipswich, I think he has been a standout for them as well. He got his first Premier League goal the other week, so he's proven he's a very talented player with having not the greatest spell with Everton, and he just never, unfortunately, wasn't able to make it into our first team, which I'm still very annoyed at. But yeah, he's proven he's worth it, Ipswich.
He certainly has. And so I like the fact at least Ipswich are having a bit of fight, aren't they? I know there's still miles off. It's not a relegation battle. We know what's happening, but I think that was a good showing from them this weekend to have a go. Graham says, "Does Kieran McKenna stay?" I think they'd be ridiculous to get rid of Kieran McKenna. I mean, everyone's expectations were kind of what they'd done, and it was hope more than anything else that they could do more. And so that for him to get them promoted to the Premier League was a massive overachievement. So the fact that they're performing the best out of the 3 promoted sides, I think, is enough of a carrot on his back. We know the gap at the minute between the Premier League and the Championship is absolutely humongous. So brilliant performance from them. Chelsea though, Shah, I really don't know what to make of them at the minute, because they're still there. They're in 6th, but it's been a bit sort of drab. And again, there seems to be unrest with Maresca and things. I mean, Chelsea never really seem to be happy anyway, but they're just a side I can't really work out.
I think the thing is with Chelsea, it's a bit like a similar thing to Nottingham Forest the season before, where they've just got too many players, but the player that they actually needed to invest in was a better goalkeeper. I feel like every goalkeeper that Chelsea have isn't good enough. And this is no disrespect. I don't want to come here and obviously start ripping into Sanchez and stuff. But he's not good enough, is he? A lot of the mistakes and everything do come through Sanchez. And even when they've played, obviously, the second keeper, he's not played. And I think the best one out of the 3, I cannot remember his name, but I think he's actually on loan somewhere, and I cannot remember for the life of me where he's actually at. But I think the thing is with Chelsea, they've just got too many players. They've bought too many players. They don't actually have that star as well. I know, obviously, they do have Cole Palmer. I feel like massive amount of pressure was put on Cole Palmer. He did really, really well beginning of the season. I know he's not scored recently, but he has assisted as well. He has been playing a little bit better than he has been, but I think a lot of pressure on him. I know they've bought a lot of young up-and-coming players as well, which is really good. I think they just need that time to gel. But I think the thing is with Chelsea and their fans, they've always had them superstars, haven't they? And they've not really got one of them this season. So, yeah, I think they are becoming a little bit concerned as well with obviously the hierarchy at the top with Todd Bowley. And obviously what's going on there is a bit unsettled and different when obviously Roman Abramovich had it as well. So yeah, I don't really know what to make of them, because I feel like 1 minute they're giving you like, oh yeah, they look really good, they're starting to put a run together, but then they'll go and get beat or drop points to someone at the bottom of the league. So I think they need that real leader about them. It's like Reece James as well. Like, I really like Reece James. I think he's a quality player. I think, is he still their club captain, Reece James?
I think he is, yeah.
Yeah, but I just feel like with him, he's too nice. They need that aggressive player, like the John Terry, like the Thiago Silvas and things like that. And I don't think they really have that in them at the moment.
Yeah, this is it. Have they got those kind of leaders to pull it all together? And obviously they did lose some experience with, even they had Thiago Silva and people like that, didn't they? Kind of, and as you said, so many players. And he has worked with he hasn't worked with them all. He seems to have worked with sort of a limited pool, but they do need to sort that out, because if Chelsea have another summer of just chaos, I think this is it. There is just no cohesion. You don't really know what kind of team they are. I think sometimes maybe the fans feel that they're like not sure what they want from this team. Like, they expect them to be ridiculously exciting. Do they want them to be ruthless machines like the Mourinho kind of team that they had was? I mean, you look at the form; it's not bad. It's just it's been a bit mundane. I mean, apart from the 2-2 with Ipswich, drew away at Brentford. Brentford did not been easy to go to this season. They beat Spurs, but they they lost to Arsenal in that 1-0 game, and they beat Leicester 1-0. And in amongst that, they've had the Copenhagen and the Legia Warsaw, and they're romping to the Conference League. So I'm not 100%. Sure what that's going to kind of tell everybody. Oh, the referees just got wiped out in this game. Love that. Sorry.
I feel like they have a lot of inconsistent players as well. Like, take Cole Palmer out of the equation, they don't really have that start.
No, and when he's having this slight little drop off, it shows, because no one else steps 100%. Up to the plate.
100%. And it's like, even now, I know a lot of people were raving about Sancho again at the weekend, but yeah, he scored that goal. It was a brilliant goal, but it's against Ipswich. It shows up against certain lower teams. He's not good enough either. Like, I'm sorry, we've seen it like time and time again. He's not good enough for them. Chelsea need, if they want to be up there, they need them consistent players. And I know everyone is entitled to a drop off, but I feel like a lot of these players they have aren't good enough to kind of take them to that next level. I might be wrong, and I'm always happy for them to prove me wrong. But I think right now, apart from Cole Palmer, they don't really have that star. I know Nicholas Jackson, like, now and again, he'll pop up. Madueke as well. Like, they are good players, but I think at the moment, they're not quite that level. And I don't know if Maresca could get the best out of them, because I didn't really know what to make of that appointment, because I thought he was really good at Leicester. Great up-and-coming manager. I feel like they have to give him time. It is a project at the end of the day, because he is learning still. He is progressing still. But I just don't know if Chelsea fans will be patient with him, or whether the board will be patient with him if they are this inconsistent.
This is it. We know what Chelsea's board are like. They won't sit around and kind of wait for it. And there's players that are putting performances in against, so they've got players there, and a lot of them are young, to be fair. Like, Jackson, Madueke, there's future there, but they've got, I know, so they've got Caicedo, Fernandes, they played there. Pedro Neto did have a good game at the weekend, but you need to see a bit more from him. I've always been a big fan of him, but again, those sort of players you with Chelsea, you kind of want to see that consistency with. But you look at the league position, you go, do you know what? A couple of wins, they've made the Champions League, and then you can't kind of sniff at the season, which is why they're so tough to work out. On Sancho, Wes says Sancho is Waz. Chelsea were weighing up paying £5,000. No, not 5 million. He just corrected himself. Yeah. I was going to say, I'm not taking him for $5,000. They can get out of it. But yeah, it's a funny one. We'll see how the season goes for Chelsea. But as you said about Sanchez, I will let Graham have his segue. We are going to have to move on to talking about bad goalkeepers. It's a great segue to the United game. We have to talk about Newcastle United 4, Manchester United 1. As a game this weekend was one, you have one of those on the fixture list, you're like, I don't want it. No, I don't really, can't be doing without. Obviously, last Thursday we had the Lyon first leg Europa League, which has become very, very important, and which was going to be really positive until Onana had a clanger and a half, 2 clangers, and then that last second killed us. And then it kind of was like, okay, then all the Ferrari with Onana then was dropped. There was rumours of some other stuff as well. I'm not sure whether they're true or not, so I won't say them on here. But that potentially might have been more to that. But certainly dropped, and Amorim then wanted to give him that kind of refresh, as he said, which is basically, he was kind of dropped. Bayindir comes in, and you're thinking, going into that game, I only had three objectives, really. One, don't get smashed. Don't get smashed. Secondly, don't pick up any injuries, because we've got big games coming up. And thirdly, I hope the keeper doesn't do anything stupid. And we collectively won the bingo card. We ticked them all off as we went through. We got smashed, and Newcastle ran through us in the midfield and all other areas. Xerxes, then, who has actually been decent in recent weeks, has scored a couple of goals for us and has linked play nicely. He picked up an injury, so we brought on.
Sad. I really felt for him. Even the Newcastle players, I think, because they were going up to him, weren't they, like patting him and stuff. I really
player that kind of he got so much grief at the start of the season. You could start to see the second half of the season. He has improved and has been. And you can see, I mean, there was one moment of the game, there was Bruno Fernandes and Xerxes had a link up, which may have been the goal of the season with this kind of back flick. And I was thinking, where did that come from? But he's out. So you bring Rasmus Højlund on, and still waiting for him to touch the ball, I think, from his appearance. And then Bayindir goes and kicks the ball against Joe Linton's head. I was saying this last. Shocking. It was shocking. I was saying this. I think I said it. I can't remember when I said it. It was before the Newcastle game, certainly, and everyone was calling for Bayindir. And I was like, but we don't know a lot about Bayindir. And actually, when he played against Spurs, he had a shocker, and he played well against Arsenal. But it's as always, we're like, this guy's the Messiah, and you're like, he probably isn't. There's probably a reason. And maybe some of it is the fact as well that our keepers are having pressure because they need to play out from the back, and we're not making the right angles and the right passes. So he's having to, go over a player, and he should have been able to make that pass. Don't get me wrong, but it's very difficult to kind of even analyse Manchester United at the moment, because it's just so woefully bad when you come up against a team like Newcastle, who are so good at what they do. And were so good at pressing against us that it made it a very, very difficult game. Dortmund are going at it.
3-1.
Blimey, they're still fighting. And you look and you think, well, we played Harry Mas came in at left back as a young left back, and it was nice to see him get given an opportunity, and so did okay. And you're looking at him alongside kind of Lenny Yoro, who's still only a young lad himself, kind of still coming in. But there's no ability to play out from the back and play through the team, and then you get it, and then it just keeps coming back. The first 20 minutes we played okay. We were able to get a couple of chances kind of in there, where I think at that point we had more possession than Newcastle, and we created a few chances. But as soon as Newcastle got hold of that ball in midfield, it was just, they were camped. And the goal that we scored came against the run of play, and then we just got picked off. There were goals that were avoidable, really were. And one thing that has improved recently, the defence has been better. I'm not saying it's been great, because I'm having to lower my standards in terms of what I compare as to what is good and what is great, but it was good in recent weeks. It just seems that they just cannot get any positivity to give us a bit of space to just get to the end of the season, which is all United fans are looking for. Now, Thursday becomes monumentally huge. I mean, there's no confidence that we're gonna be winning the Europa League. There's no confidence that we'll get through Thursday. That's just what this Manchester United team are. But they really need it. They really need it, because to win the Europa League gives you a way into the Champions League, which gives you finances that they need for FFP, and they need to be able to get in, to be able to do things in the summer, not just attract players, but do things that they're struggling against. There's an awful lot of stuff to do in the summer. There's question marks now coming out, of course, because while United fans, we want to defend Amorim, we want Amorim to be given time, etc. You have to lay some of this too, and you're like, but he's come in, and you look at like what David Moyes has done at Everton, or someone else has come in. I know his style is very different, but he's not picking wins up. And ultimately, if we were in a season where, we had one of the relegation sides putting up a fight, we'd be in trouble. Like, we're not mathematically safe, which is absolutely awful to even contemplate as a United fan. But we are where we are. And this is it. You're just trying to take the positives you can kind of take from it and say, at the end of the day, Newcastle were by far the better team. I mean, I'm a fan of that midfield three. I think that midfield three is as good as anything in the Premier League when it's at it. And I include Liverpool in that aspect as well. I think they're probably the best three. And Villa, have they done it?
No, I think it's Dortmund. I think.
Dortmund back in. So that's 5-4.
No, I don't know if they are. It came up big chance and now it's like gone. Just bear with me.
Could be not, Jeff.
It might not be at the minute. Just bear with me. My phone might be teasing me.
It might be possible. I hate that flash score when it does that, and it says,
I know.
oh, and then nothing happens, and then nothing happens.
I'm fuming. I got well excited for no reason.
Spenny Fan Chris says, sign me up as a goalkeeper. I'll play Pit for peanuts. I'd be. We're tempted to put Tom Eaton in. Put Tom Eaton in on Thursday. It's really bad. It's really bad situation. It just doesn't help because it's problems everywhere you look, and you want to be positive that there are players coming back. Mason Mount came back in. It's nice to see him on the pitch for like 3 games in a row. We love a bit of Mace. Hopefully he can find a way in this team. Kobe Main, who's back. Ahmad Diallo's in the training ground. So he's thinking if we could get through Thursday, maybe there's something to kind of to make something a bit positive. But for now, it's not. I just want to get to the end of the season, really. The Europa League's the only thing keeping me going. I like Thursdays at the moment. I don't like Sundays. Sunday seems that we played at 4:30 every week, and I've had like the most depressing. I do the washing up after the game on the Sunday. It's like I have the most depressing washing up. I need to put like some like sad like music. It's like when it's like, have you ever seen that sort of Friends scene where like Chandler's looking out the window when it's raining? That's just like me.
What for Joey?
Someone sent off.
Who?
The captain has been sent off. Salford. Sorry, I've just completely gone off. He's not playing on Saturday.
Naughty Salford captain. So yes, and we forgot our club legend Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw came back on as well for 10 minutes as well. So who knows? Wezza said Amorim and the team know the Europa League defines their season, so they're half-arsing the league annoyingly. None of those players want to pick up an injury in the league due to the Europa. That's probably fair as well. Everything in the aftermath was like Thursday. Now we all know that's the case, but like you kind of can't, and particularly at St James's Park, you can't half-arse it because you're going to get absolutely smashed. So we've got some nasty games still coming up in the league too. So I don't like the look of it, but it is what it is. What can you do? Villa have got 7 minutes here, I think, to do something.
I really hope so. Do you reckon it's going to be Marcus Rashford?
It's going to be Marcus Rashford, Char. Yeah. It's going to be Marcus Rashford. It's going to be PSG Part 2.
Oh, no, Marcus Rashford's been took off, sorry.
It won't be Marcus Rashford, Char. It definitely won't be Marcus Rashford.
Come on too.
Also scoring from bench.
I know.
Yeah. Asensio missed a big chance, didn't he?
Ramsey,
I think he missed one through. Watkins came on. Did he come on for Rashford? Did he?
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins has got a big goal in him. We've even got I've got the Villa colours. I've got the Villa colours on the name. We're doing what we can. We're doing what we can.
I need Ollie Watkins to score. I love Ollie Watkins.
Oh, one of my favourite players. That goal in the semis of the Euros will always be one of my favourites ever. That one, absolutely classic. So we've covered most of it. I don't have the graphic with the table because I didn't do one. So
he does what he wants.
You just didn't want to see Everton above you, did you?
No.
Table. I'm not doing the table to the end of the season. That's it.
We've not got a table. It didn't happen.
No, I don't like the teams at the top. I don't like where I'm having to scroll down to. So
just do what I do, Sam. I promote teams when they're not even promoted because I'm sick of them.
Should I do that next week when Liverpool win the title? We'll just like put them like 7th or something and see if anybody notices.
Cut them off.
Well, we'll go through. We'll go through the other results first before we do the table because there are a few that we've missed. For some reason, my fixture list has jumped to round 29, so that's no good because that was about 4 weeks ago. So then we get the right week up and we can see the other games that we haven't talked about.
It was Curtis Tilt that got sent off for Salford, and he's a unit of a centre back.
Oh,
Tilty.
Tilty.
It's all over. Oh, it did come up there. Right.
I've got an itch, but I can't reach it with either hand because my arms are too short.
It's got an itch. It's trouble. Just trouble everywhere. So other games we didn't cover. We had a Desmond. Brighton 2, Leicester 2. Leicester picked up a point.
Yeah.
Brighton have had like a funny run again, haven't they? They went on an absolute tear and then they've just dropped off and dropped out of it again. So that was 2.
Two João Pedro penalties as well.
Oh, JP
lad.
JP lad. Of course, Aston Villa with they beat Southampton at the weekend. Now facing a very entirely different prospect. As I watched PSG on the counter attack hold it up. There's got to be a moment, isn't there? And this Special K does something here. He's so tricky, isn't he, Special K?
Emi Martinez is going to do a FIFA run through.
Emi Martinez corner. Coming up for the corner and giving it the big ones.
Imagine, like Alisson in COVID season. Was it against West Brom?
It was. He's going.
And then he put Titanic music on it.
Peter Schmeichel scored one once for Villa. Scored once for Villa. It's possible. It can be done.
Do it.
Come on, Emmy.
That was a Villa game, though, Sam. That was mental because Asensio got 2 penalties. Ramsdale saved both penalties, but then one of them, I think it was Big John McGinn, got the rebound.
He did, yeah. Big John again. It was Big John McGinn.
Big John McGinn.
Yeah, 2 penalty saves.
Sorry. Big John McGinn.
That's what he's known as on the podcast now.
Big JG. No, JMG. JMG.
JMG.
Big JMG.
Big JMG. To be fair, like Ramsdale's had a really good season. You just imagine how many goals they'd conceded without what he'd done within there. But 2 penalty saves, he must be in a limited club of keepers that have done that in the Premier League. But yeah, and then you must be so annoyed with the keeper when it comes and it rebounds and then someone comes from behind and taps it in. But 3 went in against Southampton, so there we go. But Villa would take 1, just 1 now. That's all they need. They just need
Ollie
one.
Watkins. It's going to be Ollie Watkins.
Ollie Watkins. We're bringing it through. Oh, what's going on there?
Manifest.
Oh, there was a chance. Was it Doué? Big save from Martinez.
Yes, go on, Emmy, lad.
Big save, Emmy.
Pick it up and score.
I love Emi Martinez.
There we had Arsenal 1, Brentford 1. Of course, yeah, Arsenal would probably always one eye on the midweek game against Real Madrid, which is a huge one tomorrow. And Crab was absolutely ecstatic with last week's, but he knows they've still got a big tie against to go through. I think they might do it. I think it's going to be shaky bum time though.
I agree, because you can never, as much as I'm like, yeah, Arsenal, I really want them to do it, which I do, you can never write Real Madrid off at Real Madrid. Like, once Ancelotti raises the eyebrow,
it's the
Real
eyebrow.
Madrid change their game.
And the whole thing could turn. You can see it happening as well, can't you? You can just, that goal music that they play, and I can see Bellingham already doing this to the crowd, and you can just see like, good God, yeah, Graham's exactly right. If Madrid score early, then it's even if they don't score early, I think even if they get 1 in the first half, and Arsenal's nerves will be something else. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to that one because Madrid have to go for it, and that's usually when Champions League gets really bonkers, when Real Madrid have to go for it and just leave nothing. The other game we didn't touch on, which we have to touch upon because obviously a big week for Liverpool, contract-wise, as well as much as anything else. Salah has confirmed. Salah is staying, which, okay, not good if you don't like Liverpool, but for the Premier League, I think one of the best players you've seen. So it's a thing. If you want the Premier League to be the best league in the world, you want the best players there, and Salah is not ready to go, in my opinion. I think all Liverpool fans will be delighted. 2 years, wasn't it? We'll be absolutely delighted with that. And Van Dijk scoring the winner against West Ham. And I think that seems like that's a matter of time. I've always thought the Van Dijk one's just a matter of time. And they almost have just like lined it up, I think, to give the Van Dijk one, and then they'll win the title and have their party. Have a lovely party. Have a nice time. Have a nice time.
They can win the league at Spurs, can't they?
Oh, they're winning the league at Spurs, aren't they? It's guaranteed to happen, isn't it? And yeah,
6 points, isn't it? No.
Yeah, this is it. And there's just no challenge, is it? There's no challenge. Liverpool have deservedly won the league and been miles ahead. And even in this kind of stuttering period, they have found wins in recent weeks where it would have been interesting if someone was on their tail to see. But and I think for Van Dijk to score that for Liverpool fans late on, having been pegged back as well, they'll be really buzzed by that understanding. And then obviously we had a Monday night fixture yesterday. It was Bournemouth versus Fulham, of which Bournemouth picked up a victory, scored early on, and then went, that'll do, pig.
That'll do, donkey.
That'll do, donkey. We're done. Semenyo. Semenyo.
Oh, it's my song, isn't it? Liking. Semenyo.
Semenyo. And a good win for Bournemouth, because they're a bit more of a sort of stickier patch that they've had. So it puts them in 8th. It jumps them above Fulham. As Heather says, 57 seconds. 57 seconds. 3 seconds shy. And Graham's in with his Lion King as well.
Should be on merchandise, that.
It is, for the customary Semenyo goal. So that puts Bournemouth up to 8th place. You've now got Bournemouth, Fulham and Brighton all on 48 points. Then you have Aston Villa in 7th on 54 points. Chelsea in 6th with 54 points. Man City in 5th with 55 points. Newcastle in 4th with 56 points. And Forest, didn't talk too much about Forest, obviously, with the Everton one, but they're 57 points off the back of 2 losses now. I'm a little bit worried about them, I've got to be honest. I think I said it last week to whoever was listening. It might have just been myself, or maybe I might have just talking to myself. But I was worried when they played United. I thought they looked a little bit leggy, and I thought I was a little bit concerned. And now that's back-to-back losses. That will be frustrating. Oh, I think there's a big chance. Unai Emery's on the floor. Last minute of injury time.
I'll be honest, I had a complete brain fart and thought Graham saying Semenyo. I thought Semenyo was playing for Villa and had scored.
Emergency loan. Get him on.
My brain just didn't register it, and I don't know why.
It's all over. I think there was a big chance at the end.
I feel so sad but so proud at the same time.
To be fair, if there's a way to go out, he's Emery's getting applauded off. That's an incredible journey in the Champions League.
I feel like I need to clap him.
Yeah, we feel proud. Gone out.
I feel so proud.
If you're gonna go out on your sword like that. Just throwing everything at it. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but that's a wobble, wasn't it?
Sad.
The way they came back as well, like three unanswered goals to put themselves in possibility, but. Bless them, bless Villa. But what an incredible journey to the and possibility they might be there next season as we look at this table. Yeah. Arsenal 2nd in 63 and Liverpool 76. Go down to the bottom. Southampton still on 10. They still need that those additional points to avoid the Derby worst Premier League record. Leicester on 18, matter of time. Ipswich 21, sadly a matter of time. And then West Ham, Wolves. And Tottenham, that's the bottom 6, not the bottom 7. The bottom 6 doesn't matter. The 2 teams above them could be anybody. Couldn't they, Rebecca? It doesn't matter. They're in the above the relegation zone picture. It doesn't matter.
It made me laugh because I think it could have been on Sky Sports or someone has seen it where it was like the battle for Europe. And it went all the way down to 13th. And it was like Everton were just there being like, still on a European charge, yet we're like 20 points behind 5th, I think it was. But we were still there. I think they just forgot to cut us off.
They forgot it. Didn't they do that once to include it to team? I can't remember. I've got a feeling it was like Liverpool or something.
When they were 11.
Yeah, and they cut the top off the 11th.
Top 11 rather than top 10 just so they could include Liverpool in it.
Just sneak it out. Sneaky. Outrageous. And hey up, Jamie is here. How's everyone doing? We're doing very well. Thank you.
Reminds me of Postman Pat that when Ted Glenn goes, hey up, Pat.
Hey up, Pat. Yeah.
What a throwback. I used to love that. I actually called my cat Jess as well when I was little because I used to love Postman Pat. Just got to tell everyone. Find out a bit about me and my life.
Postman Pat's a legend. Have you ever seen, Shah? There's a dubbed version on have you seen that on YouTube? The dubbed version of Postman Pat, and it's someone in like a crazy accent or something. It's so good.
I've seen Scottish Peppa Pig.
I was gonna say, have you seen Scottish Peppa Pig?
Yeah. I thought she was a cow anyway, right? But she's a proper type one to her dad on the Scottish one. I mean, she is anyway in like the actual Peppa Pig. I mean, if I said that to my dad, she gets away with so much.
She does get away with so much.
And as for that rabbit, she must pay a lot in tax.
Oh, she is, yeah.
Everywhere.
She has. That can't be like, if she's like, you have to sign forms and stuff at work if you've got other like whatever. She'll be like, I need 7 bits of papers to get through. Like, yeah.
Have you ever noticed when you Google Peppa Pig, apparently she's 6'7"?
Is she? I need to Google it.
It comes with loads. There's like 2, like one of them says like a normal height, but if you Google it, it came up saying that she was like 6'7", but Daddy Pig's.
To be fair, maybe it's the one at Peppa Pig World, to be honest, because I almost bumped into that, and it was literally like, I think Lewis O'Brien was in there. I was like, Jesus Christ, like Peppa's.
Someone's put 7'1" now.
Oh, 7'1".
Maybe she's had a growth spurt.
She's gone on new shoes, new welly boots.
She's got memory foam soles.
So
she could join your defence, Becca. You could have O'Brien and Pig.
Imagine that as our back line of defence. Oh, God.
Moyes would love that. Moyes loves a bit of height. Fantastic. Loves a bit of height. Well, we're almost done. However, of course, Rebecca loves her favourite segment of the week. It's split time in Scotland. I feel like we need like a dramatic moment because it's reached that Scottish Premier League split where they cut the league in half for reasons unknown. If anybody knows the reasons, let us know the reasons. But for some reason, it's split. So we have a top 6 and a bottom 6. Rebecca, what's going on? And who's in the top 6 and who's in the bottom 6?
I don't really want to talk about the bottom 6, but I'm going to have to because that's going to be my topic for the next few weeks. I made sure the notes have made a return, so I know what I'm on about again. So, yeah, the weekend saw the end of phase 1 of the season, and now, as Sam has said, the league will be split into 2. The top 6 battling for Europe, and then the bottom 6 trying to avoid the dreaded relegation. The fixtures have also been announced now. So I think phase 2 starts the weekend of the 26th because this weekend is the Scottish Cup semi-finals. So we've got a bit of a weekend off from the Scottish Prem. So I think it's Celtic and St Johnstone, and then Hearts and I can't remember, Aberdeen, I think it is.
Big Shank Silverware. Are we talking Big Shank Silverware? That's semi-final.
Could be. So they're being
to happen.
they're being played.
Big Shanks in the Scottish Cup final. I can see it.
Yeah. They're not Dundee out, so kind of don't want the Hearts to do it. But just for the podcast, I'll silently back Hearts.
We should do a watch along and get Big Shank's masks.
Oh,
mate.
We should. Big.
All over it.
Yeah, Big Shank Silverware written on the back.
Yeah. Make our own trophies and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So St Mirren have secured the final spot in the top 6 with a 3-2 win against Ross County with an 86th minute winner. They did also have help off Hearts and Motherwell. They were playing each other and that match finished 0-0. So there was 1 point between the 3 left battling for 6th. So that does see Hearts and Motherwell in the bottom 6 of the split. A 5-1 win for Celtic against Kilmarnock wasn't enough for them to be crowned champions. After a very hectic match between Aberdeen and Rangers, which saw Rangers come back from 2-0 down to secure a point in the 96th minute after going down to 10 men as well. So that means Celtic have to wait an extra week, in which the second match of the split for Celtic is away at Rangers. So they will have been crowned champions at that point. So let's see if Rangers will do a guard of honour. That one could be quite interesting.
Won't go down well.
No. St Johnstone remain bottom of the league as they suffered a 1-0 defeat to Dundee United, who secured their place in the top 6 for the first time, being back in the Scottish Prem after the promotion last season. Hibs extended their unbeaten run to 17 matches after they beat Dundee 4-0, which was a very hard watch for me. Dundee have had the issues in defence this season. There's been a lack of consistency with injuries and just players trying to rotate, to try and sort out the defence. I personally thought that they had a good defence when someone was in the defence, but that doesn't seem to be working now. So they did just collapse, and it wasn't fun to watch. It has been a very tough one. Ryan, again, was left out of the squad. Don't know whether it's injury or what, but hopefully the weekend off and he could be back in. There just wasn't many chances for Dundee. It was just Hibs. I mean, they've been on an incredible run of form to take it to 17 matches unbeaten. So you did think, it would be a tough one. But it does still mean that Dundee are second bottom. So that is the playoff relegation, which is a very scary spot to be in. But they are only 1 point behind Ross County and Kilmarnock. So there is still quite a bit to play for. I think Dundee have I think they've only got 2 home matches in their upcoming fixtures, so it will be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, could be quite exciting down in the relegation. Not for me. I'll be dreading every match, but it is what it is. So hopefully they can bounce back, have a positive run of form, and we see them still in the Scottish Prem by the end of the season. And happy me on the podcast.
This is it. Otherwise, Rebecca's going to be like, I want to cover the Scottish Championship as well.
Yeah, on the EFL one, we'll have a Scottish Championship.
Yeah, you'll have to add a 7th division to the lower league pod. But there we go. The Scottish Premier League. How very, very, very exciting. And what an exciting evening we've had. Hasn't it been lovely? We've talked about the football. We've got so close with Aston Villa, so close. They've given it a great go. We've done all the Premier League stuff. But of course, you need to be following some wonderful people. And if you're not following these people, then I don't know what to tell you. I'll try my best, but I don't know what to tell you. Shah, thank you so much for being a part of the Premier League podcast. It's always lovely to do podcasting with you. Where can everybody find you?
Everybody can find me. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm ShahXRFC. Her Game 2 stuff is Rochdale HGT. There'll be lots more content on that because it's my dedicated Her Game 2 fixture on Monday against AFC Fylde. I'm always calling AFC Fylde, and I'm slightly lower league, so you know what's going to happen. But I'll be happy either way. But I know.
So excited for you.
Thank you. Obviously, as well, you can catch me on Absolutely Lower League on Thursday. And yeah, like the teaser put out, stay tuned because there's a lot of exciting things happening. I got the point.
Very, very exciting. All we can say at the moment is the 28th of April. That's all we can say.
Yeah, you'll love it. Be there.
All we can say. And we will reveal what it is before the 28th of April. So you don't have to wait until the 28th of April to find out what
the morning of the 28th of April.
It will be. It will be announced. That will be announced soon. But of course, who else can you follow? Well, you can follow the Dundee Queen of the underscores, Rebecca. Where can everybody follow you?
Probably crying over football this weekend, but it's fine. No, you can find my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, which is _Rebecca_shop_. You can find my Her Game 2 content at ASFC Her Game 2, which hopefully we will have some more exciting posts coming up with it coming up to the end of the season with Accrington, so that'll be really fun. You can find I've had a mind blank there. F1 content with the amazing Jen, who is on the Lower League podcast, and that is with Girls in the Grandstand.
All that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stuff. And if you'd like to follow me for whatever reasons that you decide is reasonable to follow me, I'm on the old Twitter sphere at Sam Absolute FBL. I'm also on TikTok, but mostly at Sam Absolute EFL on TikTok and YouTube, where I have been doing weekly championship reviews, but the plan is now I'm moving to season reviews per club. So I'm spending a bit of time behind the camera to sort all of that out before we get to the end of the season, and I can release, hopefully, every single club. And I'm also having a little look at the Club World Cup, Club Cup ahead of that as well. So, because it's very different. So, yeah, I started doing a bit of research into that the other day and was literally, so I'm, getting into my Egyptian leagues and my Mamelodi Sundowns. All about the Mamelodi Sundowns this summer. They're going to be my second team. So you watch that next season, Rebecca, when we start covering the South African Premier League to cover the Sundowns.
How will Lecky doing anyway? I
don't think it's good. We haven't done the full. We must do a Euro rundown at one point, but we haven't done it for a little while.
They're like my team on here, aren't they, Lecky?
Yeah.
That was funny.
I feel like I've got too many teams. I'm just going to stick with what I've got. I don't need any more to cause me stress.
At the minute, it's coming up with what? Series C. I don't want the Series C. They're not there yet. I mean, they might be. Right, here we go. It's trouble. There's trouble. It's very sweaty bum time for Lecky. Sweaty Lecky.
I'm used to a relegation battle. Since I started this podcast, we've either nearly gone bust or we've been in a relegation battle.
Well, currently, they are above the relegation zone.
Oh.
17th place, however, just by 2 points, and they've lost 4 of their last 5. Nah. So Venezia won at the weekend, so they've drawn Venezia in 18th, Empoli in 19th, and Monza are well gone. But yeah, it's still tight. Still tight for Lecky. Lecky is a flickering Lecky we've got at the moment.
I still want that sponsorship deal. If anyone from Lecky is watching, I'll do it.
This is it, Lecky. Turn the Lecky on with the Absolute Football Podcast. And of course, where can you find the Absolute Football Podcast? Yes, we are the best new content creator at the Football Content Awards. We did win the Big Shank silverware. It did. It did happen. We are Absolute Premier League football, Absolutely Premier League show on a Tuesday, 8:30. We are Absolutely Women's Football on a Wednesday with Freya and #Team Chaos. They'll be tomorrow with I think it's the FA Cup semi-finals. There was some Championship football and they're all picking some random games, I think, around the world. So look forward to that. I think last week Paul covered Liechtenstein versus Luxembourg, which is an absolute belter from what I heard. So you never know what you'll get on the Women's Football Show. And of course, then you have the Rowdy Rabble with Shah, absolutely lower league on a Thursday, 8:30, where it's all very exciting in the lower leagues going on week to week. So do check that one out on Thursday. You can follow us on Twitter at Absolute Ball Pod, YouTube Absolute Football Podcast, and Twitch Absolute Football Podcast as well. TikTok Absolute Football Pod, Instagram Absolute Football Podcast _ Blue Sky Absolute Football, and Facebook the Absolute Football Podcast. We are also well, I don't think we've announced this, but we are on Goals.tv as well, over an American streaming platform as well. Our videos are sort of posting over there. So do check out Goals.tv and see what other stuff they've got available over there. But we're doing some of that as well. Just all goes on. It all goes on. As we said, plenty exciting stuff to come. But for now, that's it for another Premier League show. Do catch us for the rest of the week. Have a lovely time. Well done, Aston Villa. So close. But we applaud you and we applaud all of you. Have a wonderful week and we will catch you on the next one. Ciao for now.